Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole and welcome to Monetary Makeup. So I just got back from out of town, haven't even had a chance to change, unpack, do anything like that, and I saw that my Sephora order just came in the mail. And in that order are the new Ilia Liquid Powder Chromatic Eye Tints. Now, being someone who is in my mid-30s with oily and dehydrated skin, I am actually a huge fan of cream shadows. Now, Ilia already actually had a metallic finish, but they recently added mattes. Now, I have actually never tested out any of Ilia's liquid shadows, so that's what we are going to be playing with today. So if you were curious to see how these new Ilia liquid shadows perform and you enjoy the video while you're watching, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and let's get started right now. Now you guys, I feel kind of silly because I have no makeup on whatsoever, and in fact, I don't even think I'm going to do a full face of makeup since I just got back from out of town, but I'm super curious to play with this formula. So I picked up two different shades, one in the metallic finish called Hatch, and one in the new matte finish called Aster. So let's first go over a couple of quick details about these new liquid eyeshadows. Now I will say I am a little bit disappointed in the packaging. It is not heavy, it does not feel luxe, but overall it is cute. These liquid shadows retail for $28 US and they come in 0.12 fluid ounces or 3.5 mils. So this is what the shade Hatch and Aster look like in the tube. I thought I would try something different instead of just your traditional metallic brown, so hopefully these two will pair well together. So now let's see what these swatch like. The shade Hatch is a metallic forest green, and one of the new shades Aster is a light purple with a bit of cool tone gray to it. These liquid shadows are vegan, cruelty, and gluten-free. Alright, so those are all the details about these new Ilia liquid shadows, so let's get started with application. I'm actually really excited about these shades. I don't really have anything in my collection quite like these. Now the last thing I want to mention, I am a pretty big cream eyeshadow fan, so I usually can tell upon first application whether or not a formula will work well for me. Now, I have no idea if these two shades are going to pair well together or blend on top of each other well, so that's what we are going to find out. So let's first get started with one of the new shades, Aster. So let's start off with applying Aster right in the crease. I don't know how much product to use, so I'd rather start off with less rather than more. And I prefer to use synthetic brushes, especially since sometimes they can stain. Aster appears to be blending pretty nicely. I can definitely see it is starting to dry down to that powdery finish. I just brought you guys in a bit closer. My apologies, I forgot to zoom in. So what do you guys think about this new shade Aster? You know, this is actually a bit lighter than I was expecting, which actually excites me. This might be a nice matte shade I can use in the fall and winter. All right, let's apply a little bit more, but this time all over the lid. I am noticing a little bit goes a very long way. It appears to be a pretty thin formula. And let's put just a little bit more right on the inner corner. All right, now when I went in with that second layer, specifically on the inner corner, I am noticing a little bit of patchiness kind of right at the crease and right below. Can you guys see that? So I just put a tiny little dot where that patching is happening, and I just want to see if I can get this to look a little bit smoother. Because sometimes with liquid shadows, it's just because you have to go in with more product. All right, so can you guys see that spot? It's not where the crease is, but right below the crease, almost where the lid starts. So right in that area. Can you see how it's missing a bit of product right there? All right, let me get the other eye blended, and then we will dip into the metallic shade. See how that goes. And in case I did not mention, I don't think I did not apply any eye primer whatsoever. Now, the thing I find with liquid shadows is you can't go in with too much product at first. Otherwise, you can just wind up with too much product and it doesn't blend well. But I'm definitely noticing some patchiness with this one. All right, well, so far I would say that the shade Hatch, this is a beautiful purple with a hint of gray to it, so it does lean it on the cool tone side. I feel like the shade is absolutely stunning on the lids, but unfortunately the formula is starting to patch a bit, as I just mentioned. and it also looks really powdery, especially on the crease, and not in a good way. Now, something important to mention is I did notice that upon the first application of product, so it wasn't something where you could use this as a one and done and you would be fine. It's only a layering issue, so I did notice it on the first try. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions just yet, so next let's dip into one of the metallic shades, again called Hatch. Alright, let's see if the shade Hatch can kind of save this look. I would say the two shades themselves actually pair quite nicely together. I'm going to put a second layer over this one. And one of the tricks I find with working with cream shadows, especially when you are layering, is to do stippling motions as opposed to windshield wipers. Oh boy. Alright, let me finish applying the other eye and then I will show you up close. So this time I just went in with more product as opposed to doing two layers, so let's try that. And let's put a bit on the lower lash line, going in with the green on the first half. And let's put Aster on the inner half of the lower lash line. And let's just do a bit of stippling to blend everything together. And I am working on the shade Aster first, since Hatch is just a little bit darker. Alright, so normally I would fuss with this eye look a bit more if I was having a better experience with these shadows. I'm not, unfortunately, so let me first show you up close what these shadows are looking like on the lids. Alright, so we are super zoomed in because I want you to actually see how these shadows are performing for me. Now I will say the lower lash line performed quite nicely, but the lids is where I'm having some difficulties. So take a look at the crease right above the crease and then the outer corner. So can you guys see how it's kind of balling up and sticking in those areas? Alright guys, so I'm actually not even going to finish up the rest of my makeup before I get into my final thoughts. I'm pretty sure I have a good idea about these shadows. Now of course, everyone's experience can be different, so if you had a different experience than mine, definitely let me know down below. But as of right now, I cannot recommend these Ilia shadows. So I think you guys can really see for yourself that these just do not blend well, and this was not a layering issue. I noticed this issue when I started applying the first layer, especially on the inner half of the lid. There's a complete chunk missing from here, and then when I went in with more product on both the outer and inner corner, that's when it started to give that powdery effect and also start to ball on the outer corner. But that's okay, they can't all be winners, as I frequently say. Now if you have tested out these Ilia liquid shadows and you had a different experience or the same experience as me, let us all know down below. So unfortunately, these new Ilia liquid eyeshadows are not getting 2 thumbs up from me. However, I do hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye guys!